Dogos, this is Trent, aka TradeMark here, and a lot of you might not know that I'm actually an eBay top-rated power seller, as well as an eBay education specialist, which basically means that part of what I do for a living is teach people how to sell online through the eBay platform. And I thought that I would do something a little bit different today and teach you all how to create a listing on eBay and sell something online via eBay. Now, a lot of you might be asking,
well, TradeMark, why do I need to learn how to sell something on eBay?
and to be perfectly honest, you might not have any need or any desire to sell something online, which is fine. But the reason why I'm creating this video is because I believe that there are some of my viewer base, some of my subscribers who, if you were like me when you're growing up, you might not have the money to buy the newest games every time they come out. You might only get 1 or 2 games a year, and that's what you're supposed to play, and that's what you're supposed to take advantage of for the entire year. And the cool thing about this day and age is that you can actually, aside from just like trading in games, right? That's been available for a long time. But usually when you do trade-ins, you don't get very good value out of your games. You'd have to probably trade in 7, 8 games just to get a brand new game. And the cool thing about this day and age is that you can sell games online for a relatively decent amount of its value. And you can also buy used games online. So you can actually buy a game that you want that is new to you, but might have been used, and get a really good deal on it. And using this method, you can kind of transition and basically play a lot of the games you like, because I'm just the type of person that likes to play a game, beat it, and then move on to a new game. Or like even Call of Duty, I like to play the most recent Call of Duty that's out. I don't like to, play older games just to reminisce. That's just not me. But if that's something that interests you, feel free to watch the video. If not, go ahead and skip that. That's fine as well. But basically, the first thing that you need to do is you need to register an eBay account. Now, I realize that a lot of the people that this video is targeted at won't legally be able to create an eBay account and a PayPal account and start selling right away. In fact, I wasn't when I started selling on eBay. I wasn't even 15 years old when I started selling on eBay, and I did it because I was a 3-sport athlete. And I didn't have time for a part-time job, but I still wanted to have some spending money during my junior high and high school years where I could actually, have some money to use for what I wanted. And so I talked to my mom, and I asked her if I could register an account in her name in order to basically create a part-time job for myself. And that's where I got started on eBay. As I created an account in my mom's name and sold items from around the house just to generate a little part-time income for myself. And I think if some of you out there sat your parents down and you said, you know what, I would like to do this, I want to be proactive, and I want to work for some money to spend on what I would like, is it okay if I register an account in your name, sell under your name? You can oversee it, you can monitor what I'm doing, but I would really like to do this in order to just get some extra money, maybe to buy some games you want, to have some spending cash for whatever you might need. But yeah, you need to create an account, and once you have an account, then what you need to do is you're going to hover over the Sell tab, click on the Sell an Item, and you won't have this over here, but you'll have this section on the left that says, what do you want to sell today? And you're going to type in either a UPC, so you could type in like the exact barcode on the proof of purchase, you could type in ISBN for books or VIN numbers, or you can just type in a keyword. So I actually did this entire video. It was like 20 minutes long, and I finished the video and I wasn't recording. So this is my second time listing this item, but luckily I have 2 copies of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I'm going to show you exactly what I just showed when I wasn't recording. So you type in some keywords, and it's going to give you some suggested categories. So it thinks, okay, well, you want to sell Modern Warfare 3. That might be in toys and hobbies. It might be in video games and consoles. And you need to select the most appropriate category for your item. So for me, because it's an actual video game, I'm going to select video games and console, and then the subcategory video games. And I'm going to click the blue continue button. Now, this is the eBay catalog, which basically says, if you're listing an item that is like a retail product that has been, in circulation around stores, it's very likely that your item is in the eBay catalog, which is just a whole huge list of items that people sell frequently. And you can see down here all these Call of Duty games, and we want to come down here and find our console, the game that we have. So, you see Modern Warfare 3 right here, but this is for the PlayStation and it's Hardened Edition. Well, I have the Xbox version, and it's the standard. So here's the Xbox version. It's not hardened, it's just the standard edition. This is the one that I want to sell. So I'm going to click on this button. If you're not sure, you could click on the show details and see a little bit more information about it and see if that's the one you have. And then you click on the sell yours. If your item is not in the catalog, then you'll have to enter the information yourself. But the nice thing about this catalog is that eBay does most of the work for you. So it's going to put in your category. It's going to include this product information. It's going to include this little image. And it's also going to give you a generic title. Now, the thing about the generic stuff, the default things, is they're all right, but you can actually do better. You could create a better title for these things. And so I actually created a title right here: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, great condition, adult-owned Xbox 360 video game. So, it's basically very similar to the previous title. It's just I use some different keywords, catchphrases: great condition, adult-owned. Maybe I do different wording, whatever, to try and catch someone's attention. Down here, I could write free shipping. Maybe I say, or maybe we put this. Maybe we put the year in up here, and we put IW for Infinity Ward. Not that I doubt someone's going to search that keyword, but whatever. You can throw in whatever you want up there. I'm going to put in adult-owned and well-kept down here. All right. So now we have our title and subtitle. Usually subtitles cost money. I would never buy these add-on features. Okay, eBay wants to recommend you to use them, but that's because they want money. I would never add on these features unless they're free, which in this case it is free. I'm going to put in a condition. Now you can either just like brand new, like new, very good, good, acceptable. Never lie about these conditions, because that's the easiest way to get someone to leave bad feedback and charge back, is if you're misleading. So my discs are very well kept. I'm very particular about how I keep my discs. I have like a little shelf that keeps them all, and so literally the disc is pretty much brand new. But you could put in like new or very good. So let's say very good. We could put in normal wear, but adult owned and kept in a smoke and pet free house or something like that. And you can be the more specific you are in this area, the better. Basically, you want to you don't want to withhold any information. You don't want to say this disc is great and then it comes and it's all scuffed up or something. People are going to get mad at that. But you also want to talk about the positive aspects. So the fact that it has been out of use, the only time it's been in the disc is when it's been used. It was played for. Let's say that you only owned it for a week or a month or whatever. You could say that in your description, and just give any positive aspects while also describing as much in detail about any wear or tear or defects that the item has. Next of all, we're going to put in item specifics. This isn't a sport item, so I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove the country of manufacturer, but the release year I think was 2011. Region code US Canada NTSCU. So there we go. We have that, and then we have the stock picture. So eBay will give you the stock picture, or what you can do is you can actually Google and find a picture that you like. Make sure not to use any copyrighted pictures. But I actually took a picture which might be copyrighted and kind of made it my own. I did some Photoshop edits to it, so I'll show you. I just basically took that picture and then made it a little more fancy. I put a black background around it, put a red pre-owned sign around it, lightened up the colors a little bit. Just very minor Photoshop edits. But I'm going to upload this. And this will just make it pop a little bit against the white background of eBay. It has a black background there, the red little pre-owned symbol, and the Modern Warfare 3 case. So we have our image, and we can go down to the actual description here, where you could actually talk about the item itself. which is pretty much the same as the condition description. So we'll just copy that down. You could be more detailed down here if you want about where you got the item, how long you've owned it, whatever you want to talk about. I've never. There can be a point where your description is too long, but usually it's better to give too much info than not enough. People like to be aware of the item they're buying, because when you buy online, you can't physically inspect an item. You can't be there. So the more images you have, if you can take a picture of the actual disc and the actual game, that's probably better than these stock photos, because it gives a visual representation. If you can describe how you kept it, why it's such a good condition, that's better, because people aren't going to have the opportunity to inspect it, and you want to give them reasons to buy it. So more info is usually better than no or less info. Down here, you can add a listing designer. You probably don't need this for something as simple like a game. If you have an expensive item that's worth more than like $100, you might want to add a theme. It just kind of spruces up the item or the listing. So like joystick, you could add like this border around it, which is kind of like an arcade video game theme. So it would just wrap this around the text of your listing. Visitor counter, I use hidden, which basically tells you how many people visit your item, but it doesn't show them that how many people have visited. Choose how you'd like to sell your item. There's a lot of what's the best word for this? There are definitely situations where it's better to list an item as an auction or a fixed price listing, but for simplicity's sake, and just so you don't make any mistakes, the easiest way to not mess up is use fixed price, because you set the price at which you want to sell the item. So there's no mistakes, there's no chance that it will sell for less than what you want. And if you want to know what this item is selling for, it tells you what a brand new item is selling for from a top rated seller is $32. But this is not brand new, so you could do a little quick search here. And let's say we go in video games, we select Xbox and buy it now. And we can just see some prices that other people are selling it for. 12 plus 250, so like $15. $15, 15. So I think I have it sorted price plus shipping lowest first. So the lowest people are selling it for is pretty much 15. You don't have to be the cheapest on eBay, but it does help your item sell faster. So I can price that accordingly. If I want to sell it fast, I would sell it around $14. If I want to sell it pretty fast, $15 or $16. Or if I want it average, maybe people will buy it maybe $17, $18. A little bit over what the lowest prices are. And if you want it to be a long time for it to sell, well then like $19.99 or $25.99, you probably won't sell above $20, to be honest. If other people are selling it for $15, unless yours is just pristine, it's like brand new, maybe it will sell for a little bit more. But I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to put it at $17.99. And then I'm also going to click this little checkbox, allow buyers to send me best offers. And basically what that does is if someone doesn't want to buy it at $18, they can send me an offer instead. Say, oh, hey, I don't want to buy it at $18, but I would buy it at $15 or $16 or $14 or $10. And you can choose to accept or deny those offers. You can choose to accept or deny them. And then we come down here to the duration. I already have this set at 30 days. It's the same price for all of these durations. So you might as well list it for the longest. A good till cancel listing is just a 30-day listing that automatically renews at the end of 30 days. We can start the listing immediately or schedule it, which costs a little money. But I would recommend just keeping it at start immediately. That's typically the easiest way to do this. You probably, if you're trying to make money to buy new games, you probably aren't going to donate any of your sale to a charity foundation. But maybe if you're really nice, you can do that. Down here under PayPal, this is how you accept payments. Pretty much you're just going to want to accept PayPal. You're going to put in your PayPal email address here. If you don't have PayPal, I would recommend you register for it, because it's almost impossible to sell on eBay without a PayPal account. They typically just go hand in hand. And then you can also choose to make them pay immediately. So you could check this little checkbox and require them to pay immediately. Then you could go down here to the shipping. You can enter your shipping costs. I always like to offer a free shipping method because that promotes your listing in the listing section. eBay kind of ranks it a little bit higher, and it also makes it easy for your buyers to calculate. If it's $18 in free shipping, well, they know exactly how much they're paying. Whereas if you charged $17 and for shipping, it's just a little more confusing for buyers. It hurts you a little bit more. And something like a video game can be shipped for very cheap. You can ship anywhere in the U.S. You can ship a video game in like a first class envelope for probably $3-4. So it's not going to break your wallet to ship something and cover the cost of shipping. But if you have to, I would charge a low amount. No one likes to be overcharged for shipping. And then if they want like a fast shipping method, well, then you could charge them. Then maybe you do expedited shipping. So if you're going to do like first priority mail or like next day, well, then maybe you charge them. And they would choose what method they want at checkout, which most people will go with the free method if it's something as cheap as this. Then you put in your handling time if you want local pickup. These are just some generic options. You can read through them, but pretty much the way that they come standard is fine. Your handling time is how long it's going to take you to get the item to the post office or UPS. The exclusion list, this is where you want to, if you don't want to ship somewhere, I would highly recommend you check some international countries. If this is your first time selling, you probably only want to sell to your country. So if you're in the UK, only sell to UK. If you're in the US, only sell to US. I also, the US protectorates like these, they have similar shipping costs to a lot of them. So I ship to them. It's fine. But I would pretty much avoid the international countries because the majority of scams come from international countries. That's just how it works. It's easier to get away with a scam when you're not held under our legislature, under our law system. So that's why typically most online scams are set up internationally in places where they have really weak legal systems. And let's go down here, click on apply, and that's just basically going to exclude all the shipping locations except for the US. Sales tax, you probably don't need to add sales tax. If you're just a casual seller that sells very little, you probably don't need to worry about this. If you plan on getting into this frequently, if you plan on making this any type of part-time or business aspect, or if you sell a lot, well, then you need to start learning. You need to get an accountant, kind of learn a little bit about sales tax, how you need to report things. And then you would need to put in at least your state at bare minimum. And in some states, you would need to put in every state, which kind of sucks. But, you would put in your sales tax for your county or your area and the percentage. And then your return policy, you can kind of change your return policy. The default one is fine. And then you can add additional checkout instructions for the buyer. But basically, that's it. So I'm going to hit continue. It'll allow you to kind of preview the listing before you actually submit it. So here's a review of what it looks like in the search bar, what everything is here, how much it's going to cost you. You'll notice it's 5 cents just to list it. This is just to list the item. Even if you don't sell it, it costs 5 cents. Now, if it sells, you'll also have to pay a final value fee. Okay. And a final value fee is basically a percentage of the sale. So you will have to pay that. Usually it's about, I would say it's about 10 to 15%. So it's a decent chunk, of money they're going to take out. Everyone needs their little cut, but you still will usually make more money here than like trading a game into a game store, especially if it just came out. Usually game stores, they give you really bad credit for trading them in. But do your research. You can see what you're going to be able to sell it for. And then if you want to list it, you just click on the blue list your item. And then here's the actual listing. Now I have this listed on a secondary account just for security to protect my business. And basically, if you wanted to revise this, you could just click on this little revise your item right here. Then under revise your item, if let's say your item wasn't selling, you could come down, you could change anything in the listing really, or you could change your price. There's a few things you can't change after you list it, but most things like price, all that can be changed after the fact. So let's say we lower it. Let's say it's not selling at $18. We change it to 17 or 16 or 15, whatever. You can continue, and it shouldn't cost you anything to revise your item unless you add additional features. So that's it, guys. Now, I hope that this video helps a few of you, because what you can do then is you can take that money that you earn. Let's say you sell 4 or 5-year-old games, and maybe you can buy the most recent Call of Duty. You can even buy it used on eBay. So let's say that I wanted to buy a used Xbox 360, and I wanted to buy it. I don't want to buy it brand new, so I want one of these other things like new or very good. And then I just click go, and you can find the cheapest ones to think. Now be very careful. There's a lot of dishonest people out there online. You need to read every single thing that you're buying. Like, here's something that looks confusing. It might look like you're buying the game, but it's not. It's artwork. It's the package, which I really disagree with. I don't like people that sell like packagings. Look at this, no disc, disc only, case was lost. Well, I guess that's at least that's the disc, but typically you want to find something that it shows the picture of the item, or it maybe shows you the disc, or it's a trustable seller. And the way that you can trust the seller is if you go in here, you can see how many sales they've had, how many feedback they have, and what the percentage positive is. And so like a seller with 99.4% positive feedback out of 12,000 listings, that's pretty good. He's probably a reputable person to buy from. He has plenty of pictures. Look at this that you can see. Shows the disc. It's fine. So this would be a reputable person that you could buy a game from. So hopefully it helps someone out there. This is just kind of the way to list an item. If you do have questions, you can feel free to post them in the comment section. There is a lot to learn, so I probably won't go into any major depth if you have very intricate questions. But feel free to ask me what you like. And I know this video was long last time, so I'm sure it's long again. But I hope that I helped someone out there who wants to resell some of their old items, some of their old games, make a little money, and hopefully have some spending money for whatever you want. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Malo Alpito. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.